just give up the fucking notion that we aren't altering our consciousness with something all the time? I mean, I am starting to become uber aware of this notion that we have been fed, that altering your consciousness is only acceptable in these formats. If you do it in these formats, we're gonna shame you. We're gonna make you feel bad. When I say we, I'm just talking collectively. I attended a psychedelic expo today, and I am excited about what passion is being brought forth. And this particular healing modality is so profound, and the fact that it has so much taboo and stigma and ridiculous restrictions around it, that people who are truly suffering are choosing their quote-unquote moral values and their religion, their politics, whatever, but instead making an intentional choice to put something holistic, organic, made by this earth, substance that has not been fiddled with. And yet we're cut off from that, but we are given the double green light on excessive, all the other things. All the other things. And especially if there's money tied to it, and especially if there's fame and political agenda tied to it. You know, because somewhere in the middle road is like, oh, there's this new age stuff that might be changing people's consciousness, but like we can't stop people from breathing. So, you know, breathwork and yoga and meditation and different modalities in metaphysical, if you will, body, frequency, energy, Reiki, you know, those types of healings. It's just between you and, you know, basically the energy of your own body or your energy of the universe. It's so awesome that people are finally catching on and starting to at least be curious about it. I think believing is still so far off the map. Even in this space, we all say, well, it's magic. Magic is programmed into us from a very young age that it's some silly cartoon with, you know, a rabbit coming out of a hat, and it's just fake. It's fake. Magic isn't real. It's just a pretend thing. And so breaking free of that mold, first and foremost, like, oh, energy and magic, they are real. And in addition to that, some of these healing modalities that are being introduced being introduced to many of the people in my communities, like it's new for us. I know that it's a lot of ancient wisdom and intellect and practice and exercise and such mindfulness and care that goes into these practices, and then we dumb it down to like, oh, let's hand it into an hour packed class, you know, on a Thursday afternoon, and you know, and I love that we're doing it. We are doing it. We're like, oh wait, what's this over here? This feels natural. This feels in resonance with my body, and this feels really good. But it's kind of been told to me that like, good luck, that might not work. You know, take matters into your own hands. Well, yes, let's do that, shall we? Let's take matters into our own hands when it comes to healing ourselves. And so give us the tools. Like, if we can take these matters into our own hands, if we have the right tools, and the tools are here. They are growing and available all around us. And when we remove alcohol from the equation, these medicines work. They work. Definitively work. This is deep and very dirty work. Get ready or not be ready, but you know, getting in there and getting your hands dirty. Really getting to know your own shit. You know, like, we're so easy to pass judgment outwardly. Oh, that person wore that? Oh, they over there are driving what? Oh, they voted for who? But then it's like, have you mastered yourself yet? And if you've mastered yourself, then you sure shit wouldn't be looking at others and being in that tone of voice, you would be compassionate and loving. So judgment just comes from a place of, a low vibrational lack state. Yeah, it is deep, deep and dark, hard, challenging work, and every single one of us has the capacity to go in there, roll up our sleeves, and get after it. But back to changing one's consciousness. We are absent-mindedly changing and altering our consciousness on a minute-by-minute basis. And whether it's with inhaling, swallowing, chewing, smelling, feeling, touching, hearing, your inner world is being impacted by what you are consciously and unconsciously and actively and passively putting into your own field. I'm gonna need a cold plunge after this. Yeah, okay, talk about altering consciousness. That's definitely happening in a 104 degree hot tub versus, I don't even know how cold plunges are. Are they 30 degrees? 33, 30, I don't know. They're not frozen, so. Anywho, it's cold. The point is, these temperature ranges even can change our body is feeling, what our mood is. Just everything else, everything that we buy, everything that we consume is there to change our consciousness in some minute form. It's absurd that we have been fed this line of bullshit that it's okay to drink alcohol and get buzzed, get wrecked, get drunk, get fucked up, get wasted. I don't know if I already said that one, but we all have all of our terms. Or, if you're being more sophisticated, I need to take the edge off. It's been a long, stressful day. A glass of bubbly is exactly what I need. Glass of Chardonnay, a glass of Cabernet, and, kick off my shoes, pour a glass of red wine. I deserve this. And it was a reward. It is a reward. And it is made to be a reward. But then what it does is it fucking drags you down further. And then, wherever that bullshit tipping line is, the tipping point for, where someone is an alcoholic versus not an alcoholic. That phrase, it's just like narcissist and all the other phrases that we call each other. It's like, oh, that person's an alcoholic. No one ever walks into a bar or a club, a fancy ass club. You go, everyone's dressed up, they're sexy, they are drinking. The drinks are flowing and people are drunk. Do you think that everyone in there is calling each other an alcoholic? No. Some of their family might be saying that shit behind their back, or friends, oh, that dude got out of hand last night, he's an alcoholic. It's just this diagnosis that is from a questionnaire of 11 or 12 questions. And, depending on your answer will then determine, the where on the Richter scale of alcohol abuse and alcoholic world. Or, you might be lucky. You might not actually get that diagnosis there. And who's really being honest in the doctor's office, by the way? Because that's where these, questions are being asked, the polls are being taken, therapists and whatnot. But okay, let's just say everyone who is going there specifically for that reason is being honest. Great. That's probably where the stats come from. But I guarantee I don't have any money to bet on this. But if I did have some money, I would bet a lot that human beings that are going in and being evaluated for their health and wellness, and the question that comes up is, how many drinks do you drink per day or per week? Everyone's fucking lying. There might be a 1 to 2% ratio of people that might be honest about that in the grand scheme of things. Again, how are you gonna get that information? How? Because some doctors probably don't even ask it, and some do, and then does it actually get recorded? Is somebody actually going in and taking every single answer off of that and plugging it into the system, and someone in the background is hey, the tally just went up by 2 more points, so, we're keeping track of how many people in this country are affected by alcohol, and which ones are in this class over here, and then which ones fall way over here in this class, and a severe alcoholic. Yeah, because there's moderate all the way to severe, mild to moderate. I find it hilariously asinine, and I'm just here to poke some holes. I don't need to convince anyone. You can listen to this and you might be like, that's not true. That's not true for me. But some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's all I care about, is just people to start asking some questions of themselves, first and foremost. Like, we don't all have to go out and riot against alcohol. We don't all have to go and, get our pitchforks out and get angry and like, God damn it, you've been selling us poison. You have been literally feeding us poison. But we can ask ourselves some questions like, I, as a human being, as a sovereign human being, now know that this substance that I'm putting into my body is an addictive poison that is doing nothing but harm to my body, my brain, my mind, my spirit, and my soul, and my family, my loved ones, my bank account. It is not impacting me positively. And so, I now have this information. I can do something about this. I can actually just stop drinking. All I'm here to do is to bring awareness. Ask some questions of yourself and see, am I doing what's best for me? Is there a possibility that this might be harming me? That I am not reaching my highest potential when I put this substance into my body? Could that possibly be a question that we could ask ourselves? I dare you. I double dare you. So, how many times today have you altered your consciousness? Consciously, mindfully, intentionally? Or can you now think back to all the ways in which you unconsciously changed and altered your consciousness? Yeah, it's interesting. All right, toodles.